Hey everyone, live again on a Saturday. So, don't want that falling about the place. So, yeah, this is just a short kind of live stream. I'm not sure how long I'll go, but I'm trying to take a few days off from doing videos because I've still got the flu. So talking isn't the best thing for me. I'm getting dehydrated all the time. But I thought I'd talk about a few things that came up as far as Black Friday. I've been looking at some Apple Mac computers, and the more I look into it, the more it's frustrating as far as what your options are. Hey Ultra, good to see you. So yeah, I just thought I'd catch up with y'all. And where this stream goes will, be heavily influenced by what you guys say. Ultra, you're at your grandparents'. Good stuff. Hey Toast. I bought a new game that was £45 and I bought it for £7. What game was that? No problem, Ultra. Speak to you later. Yeah, so I mean, I've not actually bought any games yet. I've been looking at what games are there. Some of the games that have kind of popped up. Rocket League, I've already got for the PlayStation 4, but I saw that's like £7.50 for the Switch. Spider-Man is only £15 for the PlayStation 4. Rise of the Tomb Raider. There's quite a few ones. There's quite a few ones for Lara Croft. Like over the last 6 years, there's been like 3 or 4 different. I think 3 at least. 3 different Lara Crofts. I think 3 is the right amount. I just want to check something. Yeah, so I've kind of had a quick look at some of the deals that are there, as far as what's there and all that, but I haven't been focusing too much on games. I have picked up a few things. As you guys know, I picked up this laptop basically before the Black Friday sales, like the week before, but I've been looking at some other things. I've picked up a few little things, a few other things I might pick up as well. What have I bought? So far, I've bought a mouse. Well, kind of the follow-up to this. It basically looks the same, but it's the follow-up to that, the Mixmaster 2S. The Mixmaster 3 was going to be like £100. I was like, nah, I'm happy with this one. So I picked up a mouse so that I don't have to, use any USB mice and that. This one's quite good. It can switch between 3 different mice, but I found myself that I was switching between the computer downstairs and upstairs, and I was having to walk around with it all the time, and I thought, you know what, I'll just pick up an extra mouse. It just makes it easier. I've picked up some lights. I've picked up, you know what, I need to actually check. I need to check Amazon to see what I did pick up. Some lights, the mouse. I picked up some thermal paste. Not a big thing, but I'm going to repaste the CPU and GPU in my laptop, with the aim of reducing the temperatures of this laptop. Hopefully, bring it down 5 degrees, 10 degrees. So I'm going to repaste it. What else did I order? I think that's it for now. There's a few other things I'm going to pick up. I'm still looking for a good SSD, a good NVMe SSD. I've put the Samsung Evo in here as operating system, but I want to have a different storage drive. Hey Evo, good to see you. So there are a few things I still need to pick up. Let me see what else did I pick up. I think that's most of it just now. So yeah, I've picked up some lights. I've picked up a mouse, thermal paste from this. Oh, I've ordered the wireless card. It's not a Black Friday thing. I'm going to replace the wireless card on that. And I wasn't sure about this. Like, basically, the wireless card in this one, they've used an older version, and there's one that came out like 2 or 3 months ago, the AX200, and effectively it's more reliable, faster transfer speeds, more reliable connections. And it was like £25 on Amazon, but I saw it was being sold on eBay for, I think it was £11 I paid. So I'm not sure if it's a fake though, that's the thing, but it looks identical. When you look at the pictures, the wireless card looks 100% the same. So yeah, I've ordered the wireless card. So there's a few things, a lot of the things that I'm buying, I want to buy a second SSD for this. I bought thermal paste to improve the thermals in this, and I've bought a wireless card. So a few of the things I've bought are just about getting this up to speed as far as storage and things like that. And the thing is, it sounds a little bit excessive that I even need that. Why would I need a second hard drive in this? If I've got a 1 terabyte drive in there already. But if I want to put a few games in this, it will eat up into the storage very, very quickly. Then you throw in me storing some videos there for video editing. The 1 terabyte will get used up very quickly. So I'm probably going to buy a 2 terabyte drive. I don't know, I was thinking maybe just using it as the main OS, but I think 2 terabytes just for storage, 3 terabytes between the two drives should be okay. And then I can use, drives like this for other things. But it's, it's amazing how much storage can get used up quickly. For example, I looked at Modern Warfare, which I've been playing on the PlayStation 4 a lot, and I thought about maybe I could play it on this laptop. And I checked, it uses up 175 gigabytes, 175 gigabytes of storage. And you've got a 1 terabyte drive with your videos and all that, and you've only got about 930 gigabytes left anyway. Then you throw in a few games, then you throw in your operating system and your applications and all that. That 1 terabyte will get used up very quickly. Hey Paul, did you look at the bigger battery option? No, Evo, I'm not going to get the bigger battery because it's not that important to me, if I'm honest. So basically what Evo's talking about is that here I've got a 4-cell battery. It's 60 watt hours. Now you can buy a 90 watt hour battery, which is 6-cell. Effectively mine's is kind of like it kind of goes to like there, or there, it's probably that side. There's a space at the side. Now that space at the side allows me to put in another SSD. Actually, it means that I can put in another storage drive. So I think for me, it'd be better to keep the 6-cell battery, because I don't normally run on, for this type of laptop, I'm not going to go into a coffee shop, for example. I would take my Surface Pro, or if I buy another laptop, I would take that. I'm thinking maybe like a little 12, 13-inch laptop with a 4K screen would be good for me. But yeah, the 90 watt battery, I'd rather have the storage, if I'm honest. But the problem is with the caddy thing, and I think if you watch the live stream, you probably know that, is that there's a space for a 2.5-inch drive in this. So a 2.5-inch SATA drive, SSD, spindle, whatever, you can put whatever you want into it. Obviously, I'll go for SSD. I don't want to have moving parts in this. But the problem is that this laptop didn't come with the connection cable, and it doesn't come with a caddy to hold the hard drive in place. Now, I sent an email to Dell about this. I said, listen, there's no caddy, there's no connection cable, what do I do? After 2 days, they replied, phone our customer services. So I phoned customer services, and I explained to him what he was doing, and they said, so what laptop do you have? And he says, well, and I started talking, and he transferred me to someone else. Had to go through the whole, what's your order number, what's your name and all that. He passed me to someone else, and then she transferred me to another woman. She said, what's the problem? I started talking. She transferred me again in the middle of talking. So this was after like 20 minutes. Eventually, they transferred me to a UK parts company, not even part of Dell. And the guy said, well, send me an email and I'll see if I can check it. And the guy came back and said, this is the cable that you want. And it was like £40 from America. And I was like, well, there's no SSD caddy. I need something to actually hold the hard drive in place. And he's not replied to me. So yeah, absolutely very annoying in that regard. Yeah, I think for this type of laptop, the way I'll be using this, I'll keep it powered all the time. Yeah, Toast, that's what I would do. I would buy the Blue Yeti second hand. I bought mine's new and during Black Friday, but I would say, generally speaking, if you buy it from, especially if you buy it from something like CEX, where you still get a 2-year warranty, I would buy it second hand. I'm not worried about getting mugged in a coffee shop, if I'm honest, Paul. I'm really not. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to live my life scared in that regard, as far as, I don't want to take my laptop to a coffee shop, I don't want to take my watch out, take my phone out, that type of thing. I mean, I'm not stupid, I don't walk about flaunting things like that, but it's not something I'm worried about either. Is CEX better? It depends. It depends, because there's certain things that are sold on CEX which are truly a bargain. There's other things where they're really not that much cheaper, and it does depend on the product. When I bought I've got 2 Elgatos, right? And one of them is the new one, the HD60S, and the HD60S Plus one is the older one. Now, I bought the older one and I paid 100 when it was selling for 180. So I bought it for 100. It was mint condition, box, manuals, everything. That was a bargain. But there's other things that are being sold at like, you know, there's a few things they're selling just now, and because it's Black Friday, they're actually charging more secondhand than what it costs to buy new because, you know, obviously they're not changing their prices. Hey, Di, good to see you. Ah, that's good. How much was it selling for? Hey, Floody Sins. So, there's a few other things that I'm looking at though as far as buying. If I bring over the browser, right, so I know a lot of you guys are in the UK, so you'll be aware of this website. This is Hot UK Deals. There's some good deals on the Microsoft Surface Pro range. The Pro 7, you can get the i5 for $779. The i7, the one with 16 gigabytes of RAM, is about $1,250. Now, obviously, oh, sorry, what were you saying there? £90. That's quite a good deal, Di. That's quite a good deal. Yeah, I would say that's a good deal. But if you can pick up 50 on eBay, you know. But, you know, that price is hard to be disappointed. So the Surface Pro, I've got the 6 here. I think it's a fantastic laptop. And I only bought this 6 months ago. You know, there is a part of me that thinks, well, you could sell this and then upgrade to that. But to be honest, I'm happy with this. The way that I use this does everything that I really need. Maybe in a year or something, maybe I'll sell it. I don't know, but you know, this is a fantastic laptop. There's always going to be a place for something like the Surface Pro in the way that I, you know, the way that I use it. I kind of use it like a tablet. I use it like, you know, I use it right now. I'm looking at comments here, so I use it in a lot of different ways. I'm going to get this as well. See the Xbox One controller. I'm going to get this. This is a cable for Windows, and this. Yeah, I think this is a good deal. I was asking my friend about it because there was a little bit of misinformation there. It comes with a cable just that you plug it to your computer, and you plug it into your computer, and well, you get, what do you get? You get a Windows cable, but well, this is the thing. This was a confusing thing. There was a lot of comments in the Amazon listing saying that you need the wireless adapter, but then there's other people saying no, it's Bluetooth. It will just work out the box with your laptop and all that. So I think for at £30, that's a good controller for me to play games on this. You know, so I'm going to pick up that controller. I'll order it after this. Yeah, and I'll see how it goes. In fact, I could maybe get the cable for this and just show you. Do I have that other controller downstairs? If you guys are willing to wait a few minutes, I could show you a game on this running at 4K if you want. £90 for the Blue Yeti though, that is pretty good. Yeah, if you want, guys, I can show you just kind of in the background. I can show you a 4K game being played. We will wait. Okay, I'll be 2 seconds. A PC adapter. Well, you don't actually need the PC adapter for the DualShock 4 because I've connected it to my computer before. There's an application you can download for Windows, and you can connect a PlayStation 3 controller or a PlayStation 4 controller. But I think I'm going to pick that up because the Xbox controller is quite good, and I think at that price, yeah, I'll use it. I'll use it for this, or I'll use it on my PC. Right, guys, 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I'll be back now. Here I am. So, I'll get this plugged in. I quite like this. Look at this. The cable lights up. Just so you know it's plugged in. Sounds silly, but that's actually quite a cool thing because it makes you remember whether it's plugged in or not. You know, whether you've flicked the switch. So, right. Your Scottish accent still sounds crap. So you're gonna, what are you gonna be using it for, Di? What are you going to be using it for, Di? Are you going to? Are you going? Are you going to be? You're going to be doing a YouTube channel. You're going to be doing Twitch, Mixer. Just want to have a quick look. Yeah, you can see that Xbox One controller is being sold everywhere. See, like, what do you guys think of that? The Sony headset. I know it's cheap, but it's kind of mixed reports on that of what it's like. Right. What do I want here? Is this plugged in? This actually comes with a wireless receiver. My friend Gary gave me this because he wasn't using it. I gave him the other controller I used to use. Connected here. Right. So let's see if I can do this. So it's obviously hard for you guys to see this right now, but this is the command center thing for this laptop. So one of the concerns that I had about this initially was that it would run too hot. So what I was doing was trying to undervolt it, so which means that you deliver less voltage to it, so that you're not going to run into any kind of overheating problems, so that the fans aren't as loud. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to check this. I'm not sure if that's being applied right now. So this is the app I'm using, Throttle Stop, and it helps me to reduce the voltage, but I'm not sure if they're being applied right now. I think they have. Has it been applied? Yeah, it's still been applied. That's good. Anyway, right. Library. So this is Race Room. This is really one of the only kind of main games I've installed just now. What I will say about this is actually the speakers on this are fantastic. Absolutely amazing. The fans do go a little bit crazy though. So it's trying to find that happy mix. Why is that? Oh, stop connecting to Steam. I don't want Steam to connect. Look, can you hear that? Can you guys hear that? So the official headset for the PS4. Can you hear that? It's quite loud, isn't it? So that's why I need to try and get the thermal paste, because the noise is so bad that the fan noise is so bad that you need to try and reduce it. The problem with this is all the fans are here. The fans are here. It's quite a bad design. I'll turn this off soon because the fans will drive you crazy. Is this switched on? I think it is. So what's your thoughts on the PlayStation 4 controller, Evo? What's wrong? What am I doing here? Is this connected? I don't know if this controller is connected actually. Yeah, right. So it's maybe hard for you guys to see, but this is actually in 4K. Okay, hopefully you guys can still see this. Whoa! Terrible. I'll turn it off. I just want to show you. Now, it's hard for you guys to see that, obviously. You know, from your end, with that camera, it's hard for you to see whether it's in 4K or 1080p or whatever. Close, close, close. Do you want it? Yes, I do. Close the desktop. Why is that not doing that? Look at that. Live television, people. Live television. It's not actually like. Right, I need to task manager it. I need to manually shut it down. That's very annoying. I think that was the app. I don't know. Now, it's maybe hard for you guys to hear that, you know, because basically I've got a suppressor on the mic to keep the fan noise down. But the fans go absolutely crazy whenever you're playing a game. But the thing is, the music from the game kind of drowns it out. So it's one of those things, you know. It's not ideal. It's not ideal to have a laptop that's that noisy, but you know, for the power that it's generating, it's kind of what you need to do. I'm sure the fans will increase in volume when he actually puts the PC under strain. Yes. Yeah, that's effective. That, I mean, it was maybe hard for you guys to hear that there because I've got a thing on this that, you know, under a certain amount of decibels, you won't hear it. But I think, like, so the initial problem I had with this, that after I did the unboxing, it was weird because, see, when I first got this, I was like, I'm not sure I like this design. You know, I'm not sure I like the display, as far as the display isn't just like a rectangle. You can see that it kind of, there's like a gap there in the design. But to be honest, it's built really well. The keyboard's really good. The actual display is good. The actual screen is really good as well. The webcam's pretty bad, but it's a laptop, so you know it's kind of par for the course. Speakers are really good. What was annoying me initially was the fact that I was just browsing the web and watching a video or I put on Photoshop and the fans were going crazy. But when I've undervolted, I've brought the voltage down from like 1.3, 1.4 volts down to like 1.1. And so I'm delivering less volts to the laptop, less power, which means that you know all the components aren't going to run as hot. So that brought it down by like 10 degrees or something like that. I'm going to repaste, which might bring it down 5 or 10 degrees more, and I might buy a laptop cooler. Effectively, the problem I've got here is that the fans are at the bottom here, so when it's lying on the table, when it's lying on the table, the air's just, you know, it can't get circulation. So I think if I get a laptop cooler, I do the repaste, I think it'll be okay. I'm okay with the fans going crazy if I'm doing video editing or anything strenuous because it's like a temporary thing. Yeah, I was monitoring the temperatures. So basically, I brought it down. When I first put it on, in fact, it might be more than 10 degrees I've dropped it down by. So when I first put it on, this laptop, when I was like 5%, well, in fact, see if I can see this actually. I'll find this for you guys actually because I shared a screenshot of this in a post, right? So see if I can find this for you. I'll show you exactly because I did a post about this on the Notebook forum and I put a screenshot of it. So this might show you exactly what's going on. So I'm going to quote myself here when I show you this. See when you mute your mic when you're streaming, does the voice stop for the stream as well or just the game? Well, this is the thing, Toast. This is the thing, and this is how this is something I've not really delved deep into, because basically when you're game streaming, if you're going to be playing games, by the sounds of it, you're going to be playing games, then you've got one microphone, and one microphone can be used for both applications if you're running it through the one computer, which means that you've got one microphone, which you guys can't see, but it's here. You've got one microphone, and it'll be used for the audio goes to your viewers, but it will also go to the people playing the game if you've got it activated. But obviously those are two different audiences. You've got the people that are watching you play the game, and then you've got other people who are like, watch, there's someone around the corner, don't shoot, and all that kind of thing. Ideally what you want is a situation where you can turn the chat on and off with the people you're playing with. But if you mute your mic and you do it through your computer, it depends where you do it, because if you do it through your recording software, like for example, right now I'm recording with this microphone, I could also use that microphone to record myself through another app at the same time. I can do that, but I can mute it through OBS so that only you guys are muted and everyone else can hear me. But if you mute it on the Blue Yeti, it's muted for everyone. No one can hear you. If you're muting it at the source, no one can hear you. But if you're doing it through software, then it'll be for the specific application. If that makes sense. I've kind of went a backwards way of explaining that. But with regards to the laptop, you probably saw that in the background there, that I had the command center, right? So I've already did that. So basically in the command center, you've got these different performance profiles, and you've got like a quiet profile, you've got a cool profile, so it cools everything but it might not be the quietest. You've got performance, and then you've got battery. So there's 4 different modes that I kind of set up initially. Now I had it on quiet at the lowest mode, and it was still super loud. Now if you look on the owners thread in the Notebook forum, there's a lot of people saying this, like, this laptop was doing nothing. The CPU was not even going towards 4 gigahertz. It was like at 1 or 2 gigahertz, and the fans were going crazy. It's a gaming laptop. This is kind of the way that it's set up, and this is why other people are repasting and doing other things. So I'll show you the thread. That I had. So this is me here. Look at me here. Hello. So you can see here, I did a lot of undervolt. Okay, I got a chance to look at the post. You can see here, I set the CPU core and cache. So basically, you go into throttle stop and you undervolt the CPU to basically send less voltage to the CPU and to the CPU cache. So initially, I had it like this, and you can see it, like, even this was just a screenshot. It was at 75 degrees there, and this is when it was at 100%. So I don't think I shared the screenshot before. Where was it? Okay, I'm at the wrong thread here. There it's there, right? So initially I said that when the CPU was at 5 or 10%, the GPU was at 0%, the fans were going crazy, and heat was something in the 70s. So it was at like 75 or something, right? When I undervolted at 100% of CPU, it was only 75. Now, that's telling, because previously at 75%, 75% was when the CPU was at 5%. So CPU usage at 100% means I'm doing a stress test, I'm doing video encoding, I'm doing something, and the fans are going crazy. But when the fan speed, when the CPU usage is down at 5-6%, the temperature is down like 50 degrees, 52 degrees. So just by undervolting, I dropped the basically the idle temperature. I dropped it from like 70 odd degrees to 50 degrees. It was like 15 to 20 degrees or something like that. Now I'm hoping to lose a little bit more. You can see that I've ordered this Fobi Nano Grease Extreme. I'll put that on the CPU and the GPU. I've seen a lot of people saying that they can drop it by 5 degrees or 10 degrees by applying this. So I've clicked on that. So this is what I've ordered. You apply it to your CPU and your GPU. It's better than the thermal paste that they use. Now, I won't bore you with it. There's a few people talking about this in the forum, and some people say that they've chosen the other kind because it lasts longer. It's not as good, but it lasts longer over time. So I don't know if that's the case or not. No, well, the thing is that you have to remember, these fans are there for a reason. the fans are there for a reason as far as cooling the laptop. There's a lot of people not happy with it, and there's a lot of people, what they've done is they've downgraded the BIOS to a previous version. Some people say go down, like I'm on BIOS 2.21. Someone says go back to 2.04. Someone else says go back to 1.41 where the fans can cool it down more. But it depends on what you want. Some people are happy for the fan noise to be there as long as they keep it cool, because if it keeps it cool, they can get more performance from the laptop. For me, I kind of want a more balanced profile, a more balanced setup. What I want is that if I'm sitting writing, if I'm using, like for example, when I'm writing articles, I tend to have 10 to 20 different tabs open because I'm researching, I'm quoting things, I'm copying and pasting quotations and doing research and different things. And I've got Photoshop open. So it's quite a basic setup, and I don't really need a powerful laptop for that, to be honest, but I need the 4K screen. But when I'm doing that, I want it to be quiet. Now, initially, it wasn't quiet. It was like an aeroplane taking off when I was doing next to nothing and the CPU was at 5%. Now, at the moment, the way that I've got it set up with the undervolting, then I've got it that when it's at 5-10% and I'm just browsing the web and I'm just watching a video, not doing much, the fans aren't really kicking in, which suits me. But when you start pushing it and you start playing a game and you start doing something else, then the fans will come in and they're crazy. For me, that's something I can handle. I can live with it. It's not ideal. It's not ideal, but at the end of the day, this has got a super powerful GPU in it. This is the most powerful GPU. You can buy like an RTX 6000 now, but I would say for most people, this is the most powerful GPU you would get in a laptop, pretty much. What kind of load processing you talk about, Neil? The thing is, like, apparently, see as far as temperatures go, see just doing that, you'll drop the temperature down by about 5 degrees, because effectively air's, like, obviously, I don't know why they've got it like this. You know, the new design's pushing all the air out the back, but this design, they've got a lot of the fans coming here, which means that the air obviously has to be distributed, has to circulate out here, but when it's on a table, it can't do that. So I'm going to try and buy a laptop cooler. Apparently, that can drop it down by maybe even as much as 10 degrees. And if I use a thermal paste, it might drop it down even more. So I'm going to do the repaste. I'm going to do the like buy a laptop cooler as well. But that's the thing. This is what I wanted. You know, I say this in the title that I wanted to talk about Apple computers, because I've looked a lot into the MacBooks and all that, and Apple obviously, I've got a very different approach to this. A very, very different approach to this. I probably do toast somewhere. I do it, and in fact, I do have a couple of videos out of Blue Yeti. So there's a couple of videos about what Apple are doing with their MacBooks, and some of them were out earlier this year before the MacBook 16. But effectively, it's about, I mean, I kind of touched upon this before in my last video, but it's about mis-selling your product, and it's really about mis-selling your product. Rendering video and playing 3D games. Yeah, well, editing on the move. That's why I need it. So this is the thing, guys. So see, when I was buying a new laptop, or possibly I might buy another one and I'll sell my other laptop that I've got. When you start looking at laptop reviews, you find that there's a lot of things that you don't know just by looking at the specifications. The specifications don't tell you the full story. They really don't tell you even 10% of the story. And that's one of the things I noticed when it came to this laptop. And it's, you know, you see some criticism about it, but for example, last year's XPS 15, it came with an 8-core CPU, but the chassis for that XPS 15 was throttling, you know, because it was overheating, you were losing like 30% to the point where you were better getting just the 6-core CPU, because, you know, with an 8-core, you're only getting 5% more. And it's the same with this. So after the 8th generation 8750H, there was the 9750H, was like 10% performance boost. This actually performs better than a lot of laptops with the 9750H. And again, it's because of the design. So it's one of those things. If you want something quiet with no noise, you can get something like this. This is fanless. never any noise from this because there's no need for it. It's an ultra low voltage CPU, but if I've even got a couple of videos open and too many tabs, that will slow down. That is not a, you know, that's productive as far as for light use, but anything beyond that, the Surface Pro is unusable because it's you know, it's not a powerful laptop. But again, this goes back to what I was saying with Apple. So there's a lot of videos, you know, explaining that Apple's marketing material is very, very misleading. For example, like say the MacBook 15 earlier on in the year, and there was a few videos showing this where they will say up to 4.8 gigahertz, and what that means is referring to the turbo clock. So the base clock might only be 2.4, but it can turbo boost up to 4.8. Now, I mean, I'm not saying I'm an expert on this as far as CPUs go, but effectively a turbo boost allows the CPU to jump up to 4.8 gigahertz, doubles the speed. And what that means is when you're opening an application or when you're doing something, it just needs a lot of processing immediately, like loading an app or loading a game. It feels snappy. And for a lot of people, that's all they need. But for Apple, what they were saying was up to 4.8 gigahertz. But what they weren't telling you was that because their chassis was so thin, you know, the 15 was only 1.8 kilograms for a 15-inch laptop. Because it was so thin, it couldn't sustain those higher loads. So you might only get 4.8 gigahertz for like, you know, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds, but then it will drop right down to like 2 gigahertz. So they might market it as up to 4.8 gigahertz, but your performance is less than half as what they're actually marketing it as. And the reason they do that is because any higher than that, then the fans will kick in, it starts getting noisy, and, you know, the people that buy the Apple MacBooks are like, oh, this is too noisy, the laptop's broken, they'll take it back. So what they've done, they undervolted the CPUs. They did what I did there. They delivered less power to it so that there wasn't as much performance. I'll type it here. I'll type it here, Neil. So, you know, that's what I'm saying about as far as the specifications don't tell you the full story. This is actually one of the laptops where it actually performs better than the specifications. Like, this performs better than other laptops. I've got the 8750H. It performs better than the benchmarks suggested that it will, you know, perform. But the negative is that noise, heat. This is the thing, you know, if you want more performance, generally you need more heat to generate it. So, yeah, unless you monitor everything, yeah. There was a good video. I've seen a couple of videos talking about it though, about how bad it is as far as how much Apple's were actually throttling it. So, you know, marketing speak, they'll say, oh, it's an 8-core or whether that, but their 8-core CPUs might actually perform slower than this, and this is a 6-core CPU. Right, I'll type in my my specs. My PC is actually getting a little bit old now. Yeah, I'm at the point where I need to start either sell my main PC or upgrade at one point. I think maybe next year. I'll wait till the third gen, like the 30 whatever comes out, and I'll maybe replace that. But it's one of those things, right? Because, like I said, there's thin and light gaming laptops out there, but it's trying to find that balance between getting the performance that you need but not being too noisy. The way that they've set this up right now, it is noisy, but if I can keep this quiet and it's only quite loud when it's gaming or when I'm doing processing a video, then that's okay, because what I can do is when it's processing the video, I can leave the room. Now, for what I mean is, you know, like Neil, you were saying, why would you need that? Say for example, I was editing this video and I put a few different clips, like I showed you this and I showed you that, and I put all the clips together. At the end, you need to do what's called video encoding, which basically means that when you've clipped all the clips together and you've added your effects and you've added your text and all that, the video editing software needs to encode it. And it's a nice way of saying the software needs to put everything together. So it's like you open up a clip, you open another clip, and you put it all together and you say, put this clip here, put that clip there, do this effect here. Then that video needs to, the software needs to put that video together and create the video that you said that you wanted through the editor. And you need to encode the video. Now, whenever you encode a video, the CPU goes to 100%. 100%. In my computer here, whenever I encode a video, it's always at 100%. Always. Always, always, always. Which means that you can't do anything else. Like, you literally can't touch your computer because you could maybe do some light browsing, but effectively your computer can't be used when it's encoding. So when I do video encoding with this, when I go to encode the video, I press it's like the play button to start encoding. I'll just leave this and I'll let it be noisy. And what will happen is the fans will go crazy. I'll encode the video, and then at the end of it, I'll just I'll come back and the fans will kick off. Effectively, the fans need to kick in to stop the CPU from overheating. If it overheats, the system crashes, and you can do some damage to the CPU and other components if it goes too high. But it's trying to find that happy balance. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not happy with the fact these fans are loud, but if I use it in a very specific way, then this is a fantastic laptop for me. It means that I can get it quiet when I'm doing Photoshop and browsing the web and different things. But when I want to get performance, like gaming and things like that, then that performance is there. And when I want to stream, like, because this can handle, obviously, streaming. That's one thing that I want to do through this as well. The other laptop that had the HP laptop, that can only handle 720p streaming. It just can't handle 1080p streaming because it's an older laptop. This will be able to handle perhaps even 1440p streaming. So, yeah, it's one of those things. I am maybe going to look into getting another laptop though. I think what I want to get is a 13-inch 4K laptop. It seems, I know for a lot of people though, it seems a little bit of a splurge. It seems a little bit excessive for me to buy these laptops, but it's because I do a few different things. To me, I use my Surface like a tablet. I don't really use it like a laptop, if I'm honest. I use it like a tablet. I do light browsing. I use it to display comments in my YouTube videos. I'm not really using it as a PC. The keyboard, I mean, I'll do a video about this, but see, the keyboard for the Surface Pro is fine if you want to just send a few emails, but I couldn't write on this all day long. It's too flexy. It's too flexible. It's just horrible to type on all day long. It's fine for how I use it though. It's perfect for how I use it. It's just a little portable laptop. You flip it down. But for me, 2 laptops, or 3 in this case, if you count that as a tablet, 2 laptops. 2 laptops kind of works for me because I can use this one for live streaming, for video editing and different things. I'll buy another one, which will be for writing, for Photoshop, for other things, and maybe light video editing. And then I've got kind of the best of both worlds. It's kind of what I was going back to saying a few weeks ago, where I said that 2 laptops is maybe better than finding one, because it's like the MacBook. Say I bought the top of the range MacBook, which is light, 2 kilograms, it's only a little bit lighter than this, but say I bought the MacBook and I thought, okay, this is the one computer and it will do everything. Well, I've only got one laptop, and for me to get the spec that I want on that, it would be like $3,500. And I paid $1,600 for that. I could get another laptop, a smaller one, for another $1,000. I could get another Surface Pro, and I'm still spending less than one MacBook, and now I've got 3 laptops. So, anyway, I digress. I'm talking away. Look at this. I'm drinking so much water. What have you guys bought, by the way? Sorry, I've been making this all about me. What have you guys been buying on Black Friday? Have you picked up anything yet? Have you picked up anything during the sales? I'm trying to think what else I need to pick up. What was the thing? Oh, in fact, I'll show you what I was going to pick up. Is it the 8200 Pro? So the other thing I was going to pick up was, is it here? Let me see CC online. So this is the other SSD that I might buy. It looks like quite a good deal. I missed a deal on this last week. There was a deal on this hard drive last week, right? And it was 165 on eBay, and I missed it. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Where is it? So there was a deal on this the other day, and that's not it either. Where the hell is it? Right. So I'll show you what I'm looking for. It was this one. I think it's still 190. Yeah, I might pick this up. So there it's there, 190. So yeah, 2 terabyte. So there it's there, 2 terabytes, 5-year warranty. I mean, look at those speeds. You can get nearly, what is it, 390,000? Oh, there it's there, 3,000 megabytes per second, right? So yeah, it's over 3,000 writing. It looks really good. £190. You can pick up the 970 Evo Plus. So the one that I've got in here just now, the 1 terabyte Evo Plus is like 140. But for an extra £50, I'd rather get the storage. I know this isn't as good a brand as Samsung, and there's certain scenarios where the Samsung is much better, but for me, this seems like the better deal. The thing is, for storage, I could actually go for like one of those Western Digital Blue ones where the limitation is like 500 megabytes per second, but they're actually more expensive than that. I can't work it out, and that comes with a 5-year warranty. Nothing at the moment, can't think of anything I desperately need. Yeah, it's good. I mean, at the end of the day, there is a tendency for people to buy things they don't need. Now, I think I maybe fall into that sometimes, but I have been holding back on a few things for a month or two because I thought, well, I'll wait to the sales to see what comes up. I got the Blue Yeti, a Logitech Z 906 5.1 surround sound speaker system. Looking for an SSD M2. Yeah, it was going for 100. This was going for 165, I think, at one point. For storage, it doesn't matter much. Yeah, so the Western Digital one I was talking about, Evo, was like 205 or something like that. So it was actually more expensive than that, despite being slower. The only thing I would say is, yeah, the OS. That's why I was thinking I'll keep the 970 Evo Plus as the OS. I mean, don't get me wrong, that performance is more than enough for an operating system. The thing is, the reason why I would go for that is because, yes, storage is the most important thing, and anything over 500 megabytes per second is a bonus. But that's about the same price as the ones that are selling that do 500 megabytes per second. Plus, down the line, you might not use that as storage. You know, and this is the thing, you know, trying to think for the future. Maybe down the line, I'll use that as the OS, or maybe I'll take it out and put it into another laptop. Or maybe I'll use it with the little enclosure that I've got, and I can use it as a flash drive. But I think at that price, it's pretty good. Marvin, I don't know if you're aware of this, Marvin, but what I've been doing with everything I buy in Black Friday, what I do is I make sure that I buy that I check it on Camel. Yes, exactly. So this Evo beat me to it there. So this is Camel. This is one of the best websites you can ever use. So say for example, Samsung 970 Evo Plus. This is the operating system that I've got in mind. The 1 terabyte. So you can see right now 155, right? But you can see historically that this is indeed the lowest price. And you can do this with anything to check whether it is a bargain or not, because sometimes you'll see that the price has been this low all the time and they've just put it up, you know, artificially almost just before Black Friday. But you can see that the price of it from third parties outside of Amazon, the price of it used as well. And you can check whether something is indeed a bargain. Don't get me wrong though, I think with SSD prices, you have to bear into account, take into mind that SSDs are coming down across the board right now. So yeah, it is not just a UK website. For anyone else that's watching that, you know, there's like a US version. There's like, you know, there's all the different, or there it's there actually. See down at the bottom here, Australia, Canada, China, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Spain, UK, United States. Check that. Now, here's the thing about this website, Marvin. What you can do is, right, you can see it here, create price watches. So what you can do is 155. There's no way I would pay more than 140 for this. So you could put in my email address there, then put in when the Amazon price drops to 140. So when it drops down to 140 pounds or whatever it is, you will then get an email. So you don't have to continue to look at the prices. See, there's a, you know, and this is useful. This is very useful for me as a YouTuber because there's certain things I think, oh, I'd love to improve that. I'd love to improve that, but it's not like I need this right now. So I could say, oh, they're still quite expensive. When it drops below that price, send me an email, and then I'll know, okay, it's time to buy it. Because there's certain things where I'll just anything under 20, 30 pounds, if I need it for my YouTube stuff, I just buy it. I don't even think about it. I just buy it. When it's, you know, more expensive stuff, I go, oh, right, okay, I'll buy it. I need it just now. And there's a few things like this, I thought, you know what, I just need it. So I just bought it. But for things like that, set up, you know, if you can wait a little while, set up a price watch and you'll get an email. It's really, really useful. But certainly, Marvin, if you're looking to buy anything in the Black Friday sales, check it there. Certainly when it comes to Amazon, check it there. You can see whether it's a bargain or not. Because Amazon, maybe it's not them in particular, but certainly with a lot of the sellers that appear in the daily deals, those people will artificially put their prices up and down all the time to try and manipulate people into saying it's a bargain when it's not. But this particular one here, £155 for this, that is the lowest that has ever been. But again, for this particular drive, that's the drive I've got in here. An amazing drive, super quick, one of the best drives you can buy. But for the second drive, I'd rather get the 2 terabytes, you know, the additional storage for an extra £30 or whatever. Evo, I use a Chrome extension called Keeper. It's embedded into the Amazon product listing. It's really useful. I've never seen that. I may have a look at that just now. Let me see that Keeper. So it looks like Keeper is available for Chrome and Mozilla and probably other browsers as well. So there's here Firefox, Chrome, Opera, Edge, or Internet Explorer as I still call it sometimes. So premium data access, price drop and availability alerts, international Amazon prices. This looks really good. Evo. Product finder, product viewer. That looks good. Thanks for the tip. I'll put this down into the comment area. Hey Joseph, I'll put that down in the comment area for anyone who wants to check this out. This looks quite useful as well. So the two websites there I was talking about, Camel and Camel and Keeper. Thanks for the heads up there. In fact, I'll put this back on. Just now. In fact, I don't know why I took that off. I can just keep it charged. You probably noticed there, see the rainbow keyboard you get. So basically this has got 4 lighting zones. Whoa, fans, you're being too loud. I don't know if that's because you think that's because why are the fans kicking on here? You guys probably can't hear that, but that's super loud for me. CPU 100%. Wow, CPU is 100%. Something's going on there. Maybe just because it's launching some apps. No supported alien FX were detected. So this is another thing. The Dell software seems absolutely garbage. It's a few times it's did that. Why is it doing that? So this is what I'm talking about. The fans are going crazy right now. The CPU was like at 25%. Nothing's happening. It's cooling it. It's slowing down now. Slow it down. Yeah, so now it's going down to a normal level. I don't like the way it does that, though. I really don't like the way that it kicks in. I don't know if that's maybe because it was maybe because I stopped it before because it crashed. Right, we'll see. We'll see how it goes on. I've got it on thermal quiet. Power balanced. It's down at 37, 43%. 44 degrees there. The voltage seems higher though. I need to check the throttle stop. Joseph, I have a 1 terabyte Samsung SSD and it's been good, no issues. Trying to find another SSD in the sales, probably a 2 terabyte one. Which one do you have, Joseph? Which one do you have? The Amazon reviews are terrible for the Samsung Evo Plus. People get a bit of wood in boxes and cardboard. What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Di? What do you mean by the wood in boxes and cardboard? Are you talking about people not being sent the product correctly? So, I'll what I'm going to do here, it's maybe hard for you guys to see this here because, I mean, I could bring over my overhead camera, but I'll show you this here. So what I've got here is, I'll put it here. Samsung 860 Evo 1 terabyte. That's actually what is in this PC. Down below, that's what's in the OS. I've got a 250 860 Evo and a 1 terabyte 860 Evo. Still perform great. Is that because people bought it from a third party seller? They didn't get the official product? I got mine, it was all sealed, it was all good. So this is a throttle stop. I just want to share this. So basically this application here, that's what I've got here, down here on the laptop. And this is effectively how it works. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's basically the app that I've got there. I could probably show you this if I open up the overhead camera, but effectively what I need to do here is, you can see that's effectively what the screen looks like. But what you do is you go into this. Oh, sorry, I'm using that mouse. I've basically got 2 laptops and a PC here. I'm getting mixed up. So I've basically got the CPU core and cache set at -140. You can change the Intel GPU and all that as well. So I've got the offsets set there. There's a few other things. I can maybe tweak that a little bit more to get the temperatures down. Now, initially it had the voltage at like 1.3 volts, but now it's down to about 1.1. The temperature is down at 44 degrees. Now, you know, there's obviously a lot of factors going on here as far as what is the CPU doing, what's the GPU doing, you know, what's running. There's nothing really running here, and it's, you know, obviously run at 5% for the CPU. But if I was downstairs, say I was sitting in the living room in front of my fire, you know, the room's warmer, this will run warmer as well. It's quite cool in this room right now because I'm heading out later, so I didn't stick my heating on. So right now this is running quite cool actually, and fans are going off now. So when it's like this, yeah, I would say this is a great little laptop. I didn't see any dust in the fans, but I'm going to be taking the fans and the heatsink off. I'm going to be taking the heatsink and the fans off, so I'll be able to clean it all out, make sure the dust is away, and then I'll apply a repaste, and see what it's all about. Right now though, this is great. It's silent and it's still powerful. I quite like this rainbow effect. You can make it all one color, or you can do 4 different zones, but it's quite cool. And it's a little bit cramped with the keyboard, but it's kind of worth it to get the number pad, so it's quite good. Samsung MZ 970 Evo Express Solid Black Stars. I would Black Reviews. What's that, a website, or are you talking about on Amazon? All the reviews I saw of the Evo Plus, or was that just the standard Evo? But all the reviews I saw were extremely positive. I know from experience, I've used the Samsung Evo Plus that's in here. I used it in my other laptop as a storage drive, and now I've got it as OS. It's unbelievable. In fact, I'll show you how good it is. So I'll do a live speed test for you guys. The Samsung Evo 970 Evo Plus. Like, can you guys see that? Can you see that there? He's ready? Oh, that was slow there. That one was slow. 2315, 2811. See, the write speed's actually quite, so you can see there 2584, 2600. The speed of it will depend on a few other things as well, though, you know, but I think if you're just using it as a secondary storage drive, it might be quicker because it's not being used as the OS. But that, I would say those speeds are quite impressive. Right, what I'll do, Die. I want to, let's check out this. Let's check out this review, right? Let's check out this review. You say there's a 1-star review. So this is the one that you're talking about. I don't know if this is this particular one, but it, you know, seems to be here. So this isn't the one I've got. I've got the Evo Plus, which is faster, but this is still an amazingly fast hard drive. 1 star. Wrong item. Is it this one? Wrong item, bad batch. An old used RAM module, second time on the 2TB model returned. Right, so see that isn't, that's not Amazon. Well, I don't know if it's Amazon's fault, but I know it's not Samsung's fault. That's the seller's fault. So what that means is that Amazon have got this kind of system where it's the seller with, I don't know how they work out the algorithm, but it's effectively like the lowest price, but also legitimate sellers, and they basically fight for position. And what I mean by that is that, because I've looked into this as selling, right? So see, you've got here and it says new and used, right? So you've got all these people. So all of these people, right? All of these people are selling new. They're all selling this drive new. But the one that's listed at the moment as a seller is Amazon, right? But that's not always the case. Sometimes you see other sellers being listed there as they're effectively fighting for the #1 sales position. So this is how it works. So say you've got 4 sellers selling the Samsung. The one with the lowest price, but is also established, will be listed as the seller. And then it will say new and used. So sometimes Amazon aren't the one that's being listed as the seller. Sometimes they're like option 3 because they're more expensive. Sometimes CCL Computers will be the one that's selling it. Sometimes it'll be I Love Going Shopping. So what you have to remember here is that this is not an issue with the drive. Wrong item, bad batch. Wrong item in the box, empty box. So see this? That's the seller. That's a seller dispute. That has nothing to do with the drive. That is a seller dispute. That is a seller dispute. Now, I'm not saying some of these other ones, poor performance, all this. Maybe those ones are legitimate. We can look at those. But this one, as far as a Samsung Evo having RAM in the box, that is the seller. That is 100% the seller. Because my Samsung Evo box had I had to open it up. It wasn't sellotape, but it was like taped up. A 2TB RAM module means that it's a dodgy company that have sent that. No, you have to make sure you've got the right seller. You have to make so that. I think that's an unfair review. Don't get me wrong. I can see why this guy is annoyed. This guy has every reason to be annoyed. You've bought this and you've been sent a RAM module. But that's obviously a seller issue. The box contained an old RAM module returned. So that's a seller. That's a scammer. Be warned, that's a scammer. And the seller's probably scammed Amazon about it. The seller has scammed Amazon, really, because the seller will do that. They'll get banned, but they would have, made their money, cashed their money, and went. Now, these ones might be legitimate. This one says poor performance because of overheating. This is a badly designed product. I would suggest to avoid it. It works for a short period of time, but as soon as temperatures rises, SSD slows down or even crashes. Allows you to start Windows within 67 seconds, then cools and slows down. Works as a typical hard drive. Okay. This I wouldn't see as a fair comment. So right, so this is the thing, right? Because reviews like this, you'll get people that because they put in the hard drive and then something overheats, they think it's the hard drive. NVMe drives can get very, very warm, right? So what this guy is saying is that I put the 970 Evo into my laptop or into my PC, and because of it was overheating, then I wasn't getting the speeds that I should. Now, that can happen. It can happen, but that is why you need to cool down the SSDs. Most SSDs, now you won't get it when you buy something like that, but most motherboards come with what's called a thermal shield. So effectively, you put your SSD over that, it'll go over the drive, and it'll be like a thermal pad. It'll cool down the hard drive. So that guy clearly didn't do that, right? Now, I know myself, see when I was testing this the other day, this thing got really, really hot. And what the design that they've got in this one is that this aluminium actually cools it down. So this guy, what he's done is just put it into his computer. He's not got a thermal shield. He's not got any thermal padding. He's got nothing to cool down that SSD. And then he's wondering why the SSD is not performing correctly. You know, that's stupid. You have to still cool it down. It's not just like a standard 2.5-inch SSD. This is an NVMe drive. They're smaller. They overheat because of that. The thing is as well, see if you look at my motherboard, for example, the motherboard in my PC there has got 3 NVMe slots. Now, there's different configurations you can set up because, you know, if you put it in this one, then you don't get all the speed with the PCI Express lanes and all that. But one of my NVMe slots, excuse me, one of my NVMe slots is basically directly underneath my graphics cards. So I've never used it there. So on my motherboard, I have an M2 NVMe slot, and it is directly underneath a graphics card, which means that what the graphics card is doing for the graphics card to cool down is sending all this air out, all this warm air out, and your PC should be set up to try and, you know, the cold air should be cooling it down. You want to get it out your system. But if you've got an NVMe drive underneath the graphics card, maybe that's what that guy has got, then it's going to overheat. My guess is he's put it in, he's not got a thermal pad, he's not got a thermal shield, he's got nothing cooling that SSD down, and then he's blaming it on the drive. But the fact is, it doesn't matter what drive this guy would use in his setup, it was going to overheat. Any SSD is going to overheat if you don't cool it down. That's the reality of it all. Now, you should be okay. Just check that you've... Yeah, it could be a returned one, Evo, as well. It could be, because that's a fair point. Because see if you buy something from the warehouse, if you submit a review, it still goes to like the full product review. It's not like there's a separate review for a returned item. It's just, you know, that's the item. You know, if I buy it second hand, I can still submit a review and it will show as if I bought it new. You don't have to specify that you bought it used. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the last one. So right away, these guys have been scammed by a seller. It's unfortunate. I can understand why they've posted a bad review. They'd be pissed off. This one, the guy doesn't know what he's doing, I would say. In my opinion, it requires at least a passive heatsink or a proper size cooler. It does. It just doesn't come with the SSD. You need to buy that separately. And the reason it doesn't come with it is because, and this is the thing, you know, he's saying it should come with a proper heatsink or a proper cooler. The reason it doesn't, I believe, is because every setup is different. Because if it came with a standard cooler, I wouldn't be able to put it into this laptop. This laptop has a thermal heatsink that goes over both SSD slots to cool them down. So you can't, you know, one size doesn't fit all. Most of the time, heatsinks and coolers are kind of designed for the motherboard or for the laptop because they have to all fit into the configuration. Be careful, right? It's okay. So every negative review here. Okay, this one here. Bought this to upgrade my ThinkPad T480. I've used Samsung SDs in the past, but I've been unable to get this to work. A later model is standard, but ThinkPad would not recognize the SSD. You know what I did. The Samsung Magician software didn't recognize the drive. Right, so see this guy? This guy obviously hasn't installed it correctly and he hasn't actually assigned it to a... You know, he's obviously not set it up correctly in the computer drive. I'm not ruling out there is a chance there's something wrong with the drive, but my guess is this guy doesn't know how to add a second SSD to his computer. I think that's what it is. Or, I've not checked this, but perhaps this series of laptop is quite, you know, maybe it's quite old. Maybe they weren't designed to accept NVMe drives. You have to remember that NVMe is still relatively new, and perhaps this guy has trying to put this into an older laptop that doesn't accept NVMe drives. Maybe he's not checked compatibility. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but my guess is that, you know, he's put don't buy the Samsung SSD for ThinkPads. I reckon he's just bought the drive and then realized, oh, it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Be careful. I did not receive the drive. What I received was, it looks like a pack of sponge darts. I kid you not. Right. So again, these people have been scammed. A crusty ram fell out. Yeah. So all these people have been scammed. I've yet to see a legitimate 1-star review here. My motherboard states it has M2 slot, 1 times 2280, PCI Express Gen 3 times 4, whereas this one is Gen 4 NVMe 1.3. Should this be supported? And I am facing another problem with it not being detected. Right. Right. This guy's asked a question and he's posted it as a 1-star review. He's posted this as Detective Muldoon. My God, I haven't even opened that. Well, this is the thing, you know, this is how it must be frustrating as a seller to have to deal with this. This one is actually asking a question, but he's decided to post it as a 1-star review. 1 star, check if it's compatible, do some research if you're a novice like me. Great item if it works, not happy at all, been trying for 6 weeks to get it to work. PC sees it in the BIOS, however disk management does not. I've been in touch with Asus for advice, still no joy, been lots of forums, still not working. I've wasted my money, wondering if it's faulty. Again, my guess, he's bought something that's not compatible or he's not set up right in the BIOS. But see, the thing is, see if you've bought it and you are a novice, I mean, he's acknowledging the fact that he doesn't even know if it's for his computer or if he set it up correctly. He's not even checked this before buying, and yet he still leaves a 1-star review. Never works right because all sorts of issues after installation. I had to uninstall now. It's just used for storage. You know, again, I don't think any of these are legitimate. This is the thing. You've got half of them here is because a seller scammed them. The other half are from people that don't know how to add a second storage drive and how to, you know, add it in disk management and things like that. See if they had to say that even with thermal, even with a heat sink, even with cooling, this overheats or the speeds are high at first, but then they drop down, that kind of thing, you'd be like, well, that's fair enough. That's a legitimate point or something. But I don't think any of those are legitimate 1-star reviews. Nothing. It's weird. You know, people are saying, how do you do this? 1-star review. I don't know how to set this up. 1 star. Like, yeah. So this is the thing. You know, see when there is 1-star reviews. See when there is 1-star reviews on Amazon. Check what the 1-star review says, because sometimes, and it's the same with a 5-star review. You know, because sometimes the 5-star reviews are bought. They're not legitimate. But for the 1-star reviews, check what the person is saying. If they're just saying, you know, did not like it, sent it back, is that a 1-star review? Or is that just that person being an idiot and they've bought the wrong thing and sent it back? But if someone actually posts a legitimate 1-star review with photos and they've said, this is not a good product because ABC, fine. But take a look at the 1-star reviews. Here, it seems to be most of them are from one seller selling. People in Amazon have probably banned that seller, but for whatever reason, they've kept the reviews. Yeah, but check the reviews, Di. The Samsung Evo range are great. You know, I would say most of the top NVMe drives are fine. I would just gravitate towards whatever one's the best price, if I'm honest. You know, at a certain speed. Look at that. 2721, 2750 megabytes per second. Fast. Yeah, I mean it's Amazon though. But that is something to bear in mind, because a lot of time when you're buying this, it's got here by Samsung, but then it will say sold by some, you know, it will say sold by something else. But this one has obviously been sold by Amazon. But you know, if you look at other ones, I'm trying to think of an example. There might be an example here. I don't know if they. So this one says dispatched from and sold by Amazon. So that's what you want. That's being sold by Amazon. But there will be other ones that are being sold by, you know, any other random company. Yeah, obviously these ones are all sold by Amazon. But there will be ones out there that are sold by another company, and you just have to be careful with that and make sure, you know, if it's being sold by one of these other sellers and, you know, it's a seller like 84% positive, chances are maybe this is one of those kind of companies that you can't rely on. So just be careful of that. Check that. Always check that. I don't think Amazon probably don't make that clear to everyone. Everyone just assumes it's from Amazon and not from another seller. Because some of them don't even store the products, you know, in the Amazon warehouse. They're not being dispatched by Amazon. They're being sent by another courier. Have you got the pink one for the one you were looking at, please? Pink? Have you got pink for the one you were looking at? What are you talking about, sorry? There's a review on Amazon with the QVO Samsung. That's the 2.5 inch drive. And they'd be sent a block of wood with an SSD sticker on it. Got the pink one for the one you were looking at, please. I don't know what you're talking about. What one are you talking about, Di? Complete with video, looks like a prop. Sorry, Di, what were you saying there? You've got the pink one that you were looking at, please. That one? Are you talking about that one there? That's not an M2, obviously, so it won't be that one. That SSD M2. I'm not sure what you're referring to, if I'm honest. Yeah. No need to. I don't even know what you're apologising for, Di, but no need to apologise. The Samsung M2 you were looking at earlier, the pink one. What are you talking about? The pink one? Are you talking about? Is there a photo that, like, you talking about that? The link for the bad reviews one is this one. This is what I'm looking at just now. I've just shared the link. That's what I'm looking at just now. Pink was typo. I was so confused. Excuse me, guys. I'm still dealing with the flu. See when this is silent, this is really, really, really impressive. I've kept the stickers on there just now, not because I'm a weird person, just because, well, after I sent the other Dell Precision back, I was like, right, I need to make sure everything was okay. And then when I sat down, I started installing the apps. I was like, these fans are going crazy. Surely this isn't normal. Have I got a dud? But I think with an undervolt and different things, I should be able to get that working okay. Oh, right. Okay, sorry. Right. The one on camel. So that one is the 970 Evo Plus. So that's basically the drive that I've got in this one here. I got mine from the USA. I actually got mine from Amazon.com because it was cheaper at the time. So this is a link. Hey Zolf. Is the battery good? I don't actually know, Evo. I don't know actually. Hold on, right? I'll tell you what it says. Obviously, you take anything that it says here with a pinch of salt, but 98% power mode. It doesn't say what does it say? The time, estimated time. I don't know what the battery will be. I mean, my guess is if I was to use this to like watch a movie or something, I reckon I'll get like 3 hours at most. At the end of the day, this has got a 2080 in it, and an 8700K. So, I mean, obviously I've been talking about the thermals of this, but one thing to note is that when I do the repaste, right, one of the issues of this is that you've got the, see if, in fact, I'll find a picture of this, right? I can maybe explain it a little bit better. So, can I find... Can I find... Let me see. Right, so this is a... This is like an upgrade guide. It looks like it. So this is what I did. Like if I did my video, if you saw my video, my live stream, sorry, my last live stream, this is basically what mine was set up like. Now this was get the larger 90 watt hour battery that Evo was talking about, but you can kind of see what's going on here. You've got the two memory slots there. I've actually upgraded the memory. Well, it's the same storage but faster latency. You've got the two SSDs. Now what they're not showing you there is that there's actually a thermal pad that goes over it. Now I've bought a replacement for this which comes in a week. That's the wireless card. The one that I've got should be the same. It's the same size, but obviously it's more reliable. It should be more reliable. So I bought an upgrade for that. I've replaced that. I'm going to buy a second drive there. And then you've got the CPU and GPU, and these are the fans here. Now, this whole part, this is what Joseph was talking about. We were saying we are watch it for dust. Now, one thing that this laptop is not kind of ideal is that the CPU and the GPU share the same pipes, which means that, you know, cooling the GPU isn't really a major concern. It's the CPU that's generating most of the heat, and it's the CPU that's causing most of the problems. But the actual airflow from the CPU and the GPU, they're all going through the same system. It's not like it's separate for the GPU and the CPU. It's all one shared system. Now, I'm not sure if this guy actually takes it out. So there's the 90 watt hour battery. I'm not sure if it does, shows you that. So there's the SSD. That's the battery again. There's the RAM. I don't know what that chip is actually. What is that? Is that the speaker? They're saying that's the speaker. So there's a wireless card. I've changed that. I'm going to be changing that, sorry. So this is quite good. So this is what I'm going to be doing. So when you take the that whole part off, so effectively you saw that when I took the laptop off, this is kind of what the laptop looked like for me, except I had a 60 watt hour battery. And this whole part here, I will need to take out. So when I take that out, that's what's going to come off. And you can see the thermal pads here for the positioning and all that. And this will go into the back of the computer. So what I can do, what Joseph was saying, was just make sure those are not too dusty. So I can check that for dust. I can maybe get one of those. Maybe I should buy that. Thanks, Zuff. I can maybe buy one of those air blowers to get the dust out. I should maybe buy one of those as well, actually. But you can see that this whole setup here. So what I was saying was the CPU and the GPU, they're sharing the same pipes. They're sharing the same ventilation system, I guess you could call it. Now you can see here, I don't know, I assume that one's the CPU and that's the GPU. So what I will be doing will be, you know, I'll use the, what do you even call that again? In fact, I'll get it for you to show. I'll put this here. I'm causing a mess here. Right. So, I could never remember the name of this. Isopropyl. That. So that's what you use, right? That's what you use to clean up your CPU and your GPU, the actual chip. So I can remove all the other paste, and I'll remove it, and then I'll put the new thermal paste onto the CPU and GPU. But you can see here, the way that this is set up here, that, you know, that when the air is getting circulated out, it's all one system. It's not separate. The CPU and the GPU, they're all linked together here, which is not really ideal, but that's what I'll have to do. I'll need to take that off. I'll need to clean it up, get rid of all the paste, and then I'll apply the new paste. You just have to make sure you don't get all that junk on the components, but I should be okay with it. You use this stuff and you just kind of clean it, everything should be okay. But I don't know if I need one of those air blowers just to make sure everything's okay. How do you pronounce that again? Isopropanol. How do you pronounce that? I've not. Isopropanol. Am I reading that right? Am I reading that correctly? Am I talking like an absolute idiot? I'm going to blame this on the flu. I'll blame everything on the flu right now. Everything on the flu. Oh, it actually says there, this guy's, one was the 1060, one was the CPU. So I think in this one, that's NVIDIA. That's the 1060. The mobile version of the 1060. And then there's the CPU. It's kind of amazing though. I mean, isopropyl, I know. Isopropanol. Yes, isopropanol. You know what? I know this sounds stupid, but you know what threw me off is because it's like it starts there and it goes all the way around the corner. So I started reading there and I was like, isopropanol. Isopropanol. I realised I'm an idiot today. I am an idiot. Yeah, I'll need to clear those up. I'll need to clear those up. So what I'll use that, and I'll use some cotton buds, and then I'll reapply the paste and all that. So I don't think it's a difficult job at all, but hopefully that'll drop it down 5 or 10 degrees. So I'll be replacing the wireless card, adding an SSD, and doing that as well. Hi, Alistair. Hey Kev, I've been following your guide to make a bootable Mac OS X USB drive, but when I tried to boot by holding the options key, the only device shown is the Macintosh HD drive. Any idea? Unfortunately, no, Alistair. This is the thing. So for you guys that don't know, I've got a couple of Mac tutorial videos that I did a few years ago, and they rank quite well. You know, they kind of explain the process of trying to boot into your Mac when you've had a problem with your hard drive. I think when I had a problem with it, it was something to do with errors on the disk, and I just wanted to get back into my Mac to back up important files before I clear things up. The problem that I've got, Alistair, is that I basically sold my Mac 2 or 3 years ago now at this point. So it's been so long since I used a Mac, and I couldn't say with conviction what the process is. It's been so long since I've looked at it. So it's not something I really know what to do. I would like to help you out with that. I am looking at maybe buying a Mac, but I don't know. The problems I have with the Mac is just they're so damn expensive. They're so damn expensive for what they are, and it kind of puts me off getting back into it. I found there was a service that allows me to rent a Mac if I ever need to review any Mac software. It's an old Mac, 2011 MacBook Pro, right? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it works, Alistair. I'm not sure how it works because I'm more familiar with Windows when it comes to laptops as well. As far as you go into the BIOS, you change the boot device. I'm not sure how you do that in the Mac. I don't imagine it's difficult. It's just knowing the process to do it. I'm not sure. Sorry, I can't be more help, but it's one of those things, But see, because I've not used a Mac every day for like 3 years, and yeah, it's difficult to advise people what to do when you don't have it in front of you. Yeah, I'm not sure how it works, Alistair. I'm not sure. At the time as well, I wasn't really that experienced with it, but I remember I did the video tutorial because I was like, right, here's how I did it. I did A, then B, then C, and I just kind of showed people how it worked. No, it's okay, thanks. You only bought it 3 years ago. You buy it second hand? To be honest, like, if you've just bought it and you don't have any files on it, I would just go down the nuclear route of just clear everything as best you can. But obviously you're in a position where you're trying to boot and it's not loading up, so... The grey... Oh, sorry, Zolf. I just saw what you're talking about. The grey mat. This isn't actually a mouse mat. This is an anti-electricity mat. For working on different things. It kind of works like a mouse mat as well. They're pretty cheap. They're pretty cheap to buy. Yeah, so you know, I can put on a wristband. I can connect this like that, and that's me hooked up. So I can do repairs and things like that to the laptop. I need to get a new one because it stains really easily. And what I did recently, I was writing something on, I was sending a parcel away and I was writing on it in marker on a piece of paper, and it just went all the way through. So I've got all these black marks around here. Oh, I'm not sure, Alistair. Can anyone else there help Alistair with this? So basically what Alistair's done is he's bought an old MacBook, a 2011 MacBook. He can boot to recovery, but he can't boot it up to clear the drive and, you know, sort things out. What would you guys do? It's been years since I've did this, so it really isn't, you know, something I know inside out. Joseph saying, when I was trying to jailboot a MacBook, you had to install a different bootloader. Right. Streaming, so if you could drop by real quick, it would be much appreciated. Right, hold on. I'll see if we can oh, right, okay. Is it saying that you're streaming, Toast? I don't see it on your YouTube channel. Is it on YouTube? Does it come with any DVDs? Yeah, that's a good point, Evo. Can you clear the drive through recovery? Like, I remember, Evo, when I bought my Apple Mac, obviously my Apple Mac had a disk drive, which is a pain in the ass, that disk drive, because you couldn't just change it. It was like built into the machine, and if you put in something the wrong way, it just kind of gets stuck. But it came with like the OS operating system. There was a few times I had to use the disk to boot up. I remember that. I've erased the disk in disk utility, fully erased, but the reinstall OS option isn't working. I can't see it, Toast. Let me know how you go on, Alistair. As I know, a boot disk you can download and reboot it with. Didn't come with any DVDs, and the drive is broken too. This is one of the most annoying things that I find about Mac OS is that, like, say for example, you want to create a Hackintosh, right? And if you want to create a Macintosh, you actually need a Mac to create a Macintosh computer. You need access to a Mac to install different things on USB drives and all that. Without that, it can be quite difficult. Zuff Photography. During the initial startup screen, press Escape F8 should take you to BIOS to run the format. Oh, that's good advice. You should be able to see it now. I can't see it. Like, basically, Toast, I'm looking at your YouTube channel there, but I can't see anything. It's just showing your last video, which was 2 weeks ago. I can't see anything. Neil, I have an Apple AIO from around 2012, all in one. AIO, why did I say it like that? I have an Apple all-in-one from 2012, but I really used it. A family member no longer wanted it. It'd be interesting to mess about with it sometime. Can't see stream. They press at the same time, nothing yet. How do I turn it to public? How are you streaming? Are you streaming through... I don't know how you're doing it, because a live stream you'd think by design would be public. Ah, right, okay. Toast is online. I'll show you some Rise of the Tomb Raider Part 1. So Toast is online just now. I'm going to say, hey Toast. I'm inside another stream right now. We went like Inception. He's playing through. I'll jump back in a second when you're playing the game. Oh, you've not got a microphone. Oh, you're still waiting for the Blue Yeti. Zol Photography, yes, I see it. Yeah, I could actually talk about that. So, with regards to Apple Macs, this is kind of the situation where it's kind of why I wanted to buy a Mac or a MacBook or a laptop, ideally. Zol Photography. Hold on now. I'll have a look at your. I've not. What would you want me? What would you want me to cover, Zolf? What would you want me to talk about? Obviously, I'm quite busy this week. I've got articles I'm doing every week, but I could be able to do a quick video or send a quick clip or something to you. This is Zolf's website, his YouTube channel. Sorry, I'll share it in. I'll share it in the comment area. The thing, I mean, obviously, I'm not a great photographer. If I'm honest, I'm a terrible one. I am auto guy. Oh, there's Rise of the Tomb Raider. Toast is playing now. Looks pretty good, actually. That does look quite a good game. Yeah, let me know what you had in mind. If you just wanted to ask my opinion on something, I could do a quick video and then just forward you the clip, and then you could incorporate it into one of your videos. I'm not. Well, this is the things of. I'm not sure. Not to downplay my own knowledge or anything. I'm quite aware of what I know and what I don't know. I mean, I have an okay understanding of computers and laptops and things like that. As far as the needs for photographers, though, I mean, I use Photoshop, but I use Photoshop in a very, very basic way. Do photographers need a lot of RAM for Photoshop? Do they need a lot of... I don't even know. I would assume for Photoshop they would need a fast NVMe SSD, but to be honest, I don't think I'm the guy to talk about that as far as what a photographer needs, because I'm not a photographer, I could possibly do a quick clip and talk about how I use my my cameras and things like that. I use things in a very limited way, if I'm honest. I wonder if Alistair if he's got any further than that. Trying to get that sorted. I've drank a litre of water already. Not to be too rude. That's okay. Don't like checking my phone too much when I'm streaming, but needs must. Or just give me a shout on Twitter. As far as, obviously I can't spend a ton of time doing videos for other channels, but if you wanted me to just do like a clip like this and just talk to the camera like this, I could record a quick clip and then just forward, upload it to Dropbox, and then you can download it from Dropbox. Yeah, let me know what you think. I'm sure there's something that I could do. Oh, Alistair's still having problems with it. Yes, actually, I got derailed myself there, which is easily done. You're doing a live stream and you're talking to lots of people. I kind of touched upon this the other week where I was talking about how I should buy a Mac. Now, some of that comes down to the fact that I'm kind of leaving money on the table. I get a lot of requests. Can you review this Mac this Mac software? Can you help me with this tutorial? Like Alistair was saying. Yeah, if you want, Toast, that's all good. So I might look into buying a Mac so that I can do tutorials. I can check different things. What's annoying me though is that, even with Alistair buying a 2011 MacBook Pro or a MacBook, some of these older MacBooks, 2010, 2011, most of them are dual core laptops. And the problem is, I think Apple are only supporting laptops now up to like, is it like 2010, 2011? It depends on the model, which basically means if you've got the latest version of OS X, you can only get updates up to a certain point, and then you're not going to get supported anymore. It's not like running, I guess that kind of happens in the Windows world as well, as far as Microsoft only supported Windows up to a certain point. But the problem is that, see, after about 2011, 12, Apple really did shift the way that they created laptops. They really did change the way that they designed them. And the main thing being that they went from, yes, they were expensive and all that, they always were, but what they've done is go towards the same business model as their phones, making it that the batteries can't be replaced, the RAM can't be replaced, the SSDs can't be replaced. So you'll find there's a lot of laptops back then, and they're only, say, 2 gig or 4 gigabytes. Potentially they can go up to 16 gigabytes, but you can't because the RAM's soldered, the SSD's fixed. So you're kind of limited. And some of these laptops as well, I'm talking about 3-4 year old laptops, MacBooks that aren't powerful. I mean, not powerful at all. Dual core laptops with very little performance. And yet they're still selling for $1,000. And I'm like, I'm not paying $1,000 for a dual core laptop. I'm sorry, I'm not. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I am not paying $1,000 for a dual core laptop. And that's the problem with Apple, is that their older ones, you go back a little bit, like 10 years, and it's not practical for me to use that because it's going to be so sluggish. Some of them don't have SSDs, which some of them you may be able to do that upgrade yourself, but for others, maybe not. But then they've changed to this soldered system so that if anything breaks, the RAM breaks, the jack, the headphone jack breaks, any other laptop, there's certain things you can change, you can upgrade, you can replace. But with that, the Apple systems, there's nothing you can do. And this is what I really don't like about Apples in general. And I'm talking about, in the phone world, you can lay this criticism at everyone, but certainly in the computer world, I think, I'm not happy with the Surface Pro. I would love for that to be able to get upgraded, but I can kind of accept it with the Surface because it's a tablet. But their laptops are designed to never be repaired. They're designed to be thrown in the bin. So I hate when Apple start going on about how they're all for the environment. They are the worst company in the world for the environment because their laptops cannot be repaired. Not easily anyway. And they've got all these things where, if you do try to do any repair yourself, it completely voids your warranty, which is complete bullcrap. If you're spending thousands on a laptop, you should be able to fix the hard drive. If a hard drive fails, you shouldn't have to go in and spend £600 and pay labour for someone to send it away, to do something which is a 30-minute fix. Yeah, it's a closed system mentality. But the thing is, I do like the Apple operating system. I do like their products. I just don't like, I like the fact they're thin and light and all that kind of thing. But they're overpriced. But it's the repair thing that really annoys me. Because, say I didn't buy this. Say I went out and I went, well, the MacBook 16's out. Let's buy the MacBook 16. To get to this kind of spec, granted, the GPU is not going to be as good, but forget about the GPU. Say I just wanted a good, the hexa-core, whatever. I'd have to spend about $3,000, $3,500, more than double what I've paid here. But the problem is, if the SSD, if the hard drive fails, I can't repair it. If the battery dies or I've used it too much, I can't repair it. I can't upgrade the RAM. If I buy 16 gigabytes, it's going to be soldered onto the motherboard. If I decide later I'm using this new application, I want 32 or I want 64 gigabytes of RAM, I can't do it because it's soldered. So you've got this throwaway device which costs about $3,000. And it's what's putting me off jumping back into the Mac world. It's really, really frustrating because I would like to mess about with a Mac. In fact, I'd like to have a laptop that I use as a Mac, and then I jump back to Windows for streaming, and I jump back to Windows for other stuff. But it would be useful for me to have a Mac. But they're so expensive, man. I don't know. I'll keep my eyes open to see what they do with the MacBook Pro 13. If that comes out and it's nice and it's not too expensive, but chances are it's still going to be $2,000 for a decent model. I think you can, Alistair. I think you can create a bootable USB from someone else's Well, that's quite a good deal. Don't get me wrong. If I can get a MacBook for £70, I'd probably buy it like you. I'd probably buy it yourself. Toast is still playing away. Oh, better watch the avalanche. Right, so I'm going to create. This is going to come up in my video, isn't it? At one point. How to start from a bootable CD, DVD, USB. I'll see if there's an article or something it kind of explains how you do this. Yeah, so that's the thing. I've seen a lot of guides that say this, that in order to create a bootable drive, you'll need an Intel-based Mac, and then you'll need bootable optical media, CD or DVD, or a USB thumb drive. So it looks like you do need a Mac. So this is saying if your USB thumb drive contains a usable operating system, OS X install, you can select it at boot time. Turn your Mac by pressing the power button by choosing Restart in Apple menu. Yeah, I mean, by the looks of it, you do need another drive. I think you do need a Mac OS. I don't know. I mean, maybe this is what I should do, guys. Maybe I should do what Alistair's did and just buy a cheap ass 2010, 2011 Mac. Maybe that's what I should do. Oh, that's disappointing, Alistair. I reckon there is a way for you to get this sorted, though. I know that some people. Let me see this. Now, I'll just wait out. Mac OS. Right, latest version. See if I can find this right. Okay, so what's it saying? The latest version. The latest release. 10.151. Let's see if I can find this out. Right. So I don't know if this is something that you want to do, Alistair, but I just had a quick look on Wikipedia, right? So on Wikipedia, it's saying that the latest version is 10.151 or 10.15.1. Latest one was October 29th, so about a month ago, 3 weeks ago or so. If you go on eBay, you can see that there are people that are selling USB sticks for that. Now, that is just someone offering it there. Now, obviously, I'm not going to condone illegal downloads or torrents and anything like that. But I will say that if you searched online, maybe there is a utility, maybe there is a download, maybe there is something that allows you to create that USB stick. Maybe. I need El Captain 10.11.1. I think I have a DMG. Right. I'm not sure if that's. I don't know if that's what you want. I reckon there is a workaround. This is what this is something that actually came into mind for me as well. Maybe if I get some time next week, maybe I'll look into this. But what I was thinking was, I've got another HP laptop, and I thought, right, I'll sell it. And then I thought, well, maybe I should just create a Hackintosh for it. Now, some of you might be wondering, well, why don't you just put a Hackintosh, dual boot or create a Hackintosh? One of the reasons why I've not created a Hackintosh before is because a Hackintosh, you kind of need certain components for it. There's certain laptops that work well with it, others that don't. But from what I understand with the Hackintosh setups is that you can set it up, but then when a new version of OS X comes out, sometimes it's not easy to upgrade it, and then you spend a lot of time faffing about trying to get drivers updated and all that. I really just did want something that worked, so that's why it's kind of pushing me towards an official Apple product, because you create a Hackintosh and before you know it, you're constantly updating drivers, you're constantly, certain things don't work correctly, and then you're like, the amount of time you spend doing this, you could just work for a few days extra and just, pay for a legitimate Apple product. Evo, you can actually install much newer macOS on older machines if you search around. Ah, that's good. Toast is going to do 1 hour playthroughs at a time. I've got a couple of game throughs that I want to play. I want to complete Mario Odyssey. I want to complete Modern Warfare, the campaign. To be honest, I can feel myself just now. See, just because I've been talking for an hour or so, I can feel myself getting dehydrated because I'm still not 100%. But I've drank a litre of water already over the last. God, that's 2 hours. Time flies. Time flies. I didn't realize it was that long. I did not realize it was that long. I didn't realize we'd been messing about for that long. No problem, Alistair. It's something I would like to be able to troubleshoot. Let's see if you look at that video. There's like hundreds of people saying, "Hey Kevin, how do you do it in this position? How do you if this pops up on the screen, how do you do that?" And I'm like, and I don't actually have that much experience with it, if I'm honest. 3-4 years ago when I did the video, at the time, obviously, I'd been spending a few days trying to get my hard drive. If I remember right, the hard drive failed, or there was disk errors, and I had to reboot. And obviously, it was my main computer. It was what I used Photoshop on. It was what I was video editing on and all that as well. And I was like, I need to get this fixed. Yeah, well, that's the thing. And there was a lot of people that like, this doesn't work. Worst tutorial ever. Downvote. But the certain scenario that I was in, it seems to have worked for some people. For others, it's a completely different situation. It's the same with Windows. If you get the blue screen of death, there's like 3,000 different errors that can pop up. And for every single error, there can be like 100 different reasons. Your motherboard's failed, your RAM's failed, and there's a disk error, there's this, there's that. So for every different BIOS error, there's like 1,000 different reasons why that come up. And then, you put them all together and there's like thousands upon thousands of different scenarios as to why an error screen could pop up. So it's very difficult when someone says, this is junk, worst tutorial ever, it didn't help me. And you're like, okay. But, at the time I remember that, whatever that, my tutorial was, I remember it worked for me. But these things change, the operating system changes as well. So the process of getting it fixed and getting your computer back online or getting it back working will change as well. Hopefully you get it sorted. I mean, as I said, I wouldn't mind having a Mac to mess about with. I have looked about it, and I do feel kind of torn with it because I'd like to pick up an old MacBook, but then you go back to a really old computer from like 10 years ago. Some of them are like spindle hard drives rather than SSDs, and some of them can't be upgraded. And the newer ones are all severely overpriced as far as they're dual core laptops, and people still want $1,000 for them. And you're like, you paid £1,500 7 years ago, and you want $1,000 for it now? Come on, do you know what I mean? It's like ridiculous. I can get mine to fix it. No problem, Toast. Best of luck with the stream. I'm sure your streams will get better once you get the Blue Yeti in. Once you get the Blue Yeti, you'll be able to talk to your subscribers and all that. So best of luck with that. Hopefully it goes okay with your Blue Yeti microphone. Give us a shout if you're unsure about it, about how to use the mic. Yes, I actually need to get ready. I'm popping up. So my plans later, I'm going up to Edinburgh because my girlfriend's going on a holiday with her friends. And then I'm going to a party. I'm sick. I really don't want to go to the party. Not because I don't want to go to the party, but because I'm sick. It's hard to get excited when all your friends are getting drunk and you're stone cold sober, unwell. But yeah, I've got like an hour drive that way, up there for dinner. And then it's like another hour or so drive that way. And then, yes, that's my exciting evening. But it's been good. It's been good chatting, guys. I've got, I'll try and do some videos next week. I've got some different things coming. I wasn't sure whether to buy another Stream Deck. The Stream Deck that I use, you can see it here. The Stream Decks are down in price. You can buy the Stream Deck Mini for £60 at the moment in the UK anyway. £60. You can buy this one for £90. The other one's at £200. The XL. The XL. If I bought the XL, I could use this downstairs effectively. The XL lets you move the cable. Lets you move the cable. This is a fixed cable, which is a little bit annoying. I think they upgraded a few other things as well, but you're welcome, Alistair. Best of luck with it. Hope you get it sorted. Yes, so There's a few videos that I'll need to get out though as far as reviews. I need to do more reviews of the lights. I've still not reviewed those lights or these lights, and I've got more lights coming. Thanks, Evo. As far as the lights that are coming, guys, I've ordered the Elgato key light, so I've got 2 of those coming. I don't know if they'll be as good as people say. You know, this is one of the things. See if you check all those Elgato key light. I've talked about this before, but see if you look at the Elgato key light reviews. The first like 50 reviews are from people that don't even know the price of the product because they were sent it free of charge. And then, you know, you've been sent something free of charge. This is amazing. This is the greatest thing ever. And you're like, okay, it's a different story when you buy it yourself. But I'm not saying that, you know, I got this sent for free and I do actually like this. So I can't really point the finger at other people too much. But I'll do a review of that soon as well. But thanks for watching, guys. Best of luck to Toast and his stream. And I'll maybe try and work with Zulf and do a clip for his channel at one point as well. And I'll see what happens with it. I'll see what happens with the Mac. I would like to have a Mac just to mess about with as well. Just to, you know, it'd be good to tinker about with it to see how it all works as well. Yes, but we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Take care, guys. Have a good one. Cheers.